The graphic novel I chose for this was I, Frankenstein Genesis 1, which is a graphic novel by Darkstorm Comics on Comixology. This is the entire creative team that worked on this graphic novel. The story, I believe, is about Adam, Frankenstein's monster. Although we are first introduced to two rookies of the Crescent Order, and they are pursuing Adam in case he is a threat to mankind. After reading on and looking through I, Frankenstein and its movie, I still believe that Adam is the main character of all of this. Adam, I believe, just wants to be normal. He was a human when he died, and he pursues this now. Or rather, he did in the past. It's not clear in the story whether he is still pursuing this goal. The Crescent Order, who we saw in the beginning, they want to protect people from supernatural forces, which makes sense why they're pursuing Adam because he, in a way, is a threat, but he hasn't really done anything yet. We eventually learn of two other groups, the first being demons, who are also pursuing Adam. Now, this demon, oh, um, this demon, his human hosts keep dying off. And because of this, he seeks a way to be immortal just like Adam. So, which makes sense. That's why he's pursuing Adam. Um, his first human host was dying, so he pursued and he tricked a different one, human, to let him in so that he can be the host of that human. And so eventually this human host will die just like the last one, and because he doesn't want this to happen after becoming the prince of demons, um he is pursuing Adam. The other group are the gargoyles, and in a way they're to be viewed as angels, at least to me, from what I've read so far. And their mission is the same as the Crescent Order, to protect humans and kill demons. In the Queen of the Gargoyles background story, they are painted as these good guys who protect humans at all costs. But in Adam's background story, they're pretty cruel to him. As we see on this page, they say that the demons, they're bad, but you have nothing to fear from us. And they basically want to take Adam in and take care of him. But he says, after he says that he can take care of himself, they immediately become aggressive. This one says, "You are an abomination." And Adam says he's a man, but the gargoyle insists that he's not. And then just yells, well, yeah, basically yells at him and tells him, "No, you're a disgrace to God's image." And they continue to act this way to Adam, who just wants to be left alone and be a normal human boy. So they basically don't want Adam to roam around the way he is. They don't want to leave him alone. They're pestering him just as the demons do. Adam eventually meets a beautiful blind woman, and he falls in love with her and saves her. And eventually they grew fond of each other. And they spent a huge amount of time with each other as a couple. But then the gargoyles come back and ridicule him about what he's trying to do, and it ends up with Adam um, getting, I guess, violent with them, which completely makes sense from Adam's point of view. On this page, I wasn't sure if this was a demon or a gargoyle because of in Adam's backstory, they are drawn so similar. I'm not sure if it was done on purpose because of how horrible gorgo, the gargoyles are to Adam, or if they're just meant to look similar to the demons. But here, I believe that these are gargoyles because this one says death to the spawn of Frankenstein, which, if we look back at what the gargoyles want from Adam, would basically they view Adam as an abomination. So wouldn't they view his spawn as an abomination as well? Not to mention the demons just kind of want to know Adam's know-how, I believe. So I don't think they would be saying death to the spawn of Frankenstein, which made me believe that, which was another reason that made me believe that Adam was the main character and this was his story, even though I'm getting this information from his backstory. But eventually, the fight breaks out and goes on, and in a moment, we see that the woman that Adam fell in love with was actually a gargoyle, which to me is just really weird. In Adam's story, the gargoyles are just way worse than this isn't a topic. They're just way worse than the demons. So this was another reason why I felt like he was still roaming around in present day searching for um trying to be human, because even here he is betrayed by gargoyles, and instead of becoming violent he just, you know, leaves. They continue to just say these awful things to him, that he's a monster, he's not human, and that was the end of his story, his backstory. And then we're back in present day, near the ending, and he's just roaming around. He's not doing anything bad. It seems like he's just hiding out and just trying to remain unseen by people that are trying to find him. So that's more evidence to prove to me that Adam is the main character. And then that was it. There wasn't anything else, pretty much. Just Frankenstein is, I mean, Adam is a threat. And, but he hasn't done anything yet, so we'll just let him be. But we'll still keep our eyes on him, just in case. And we'll also pray. It was very disappointing. I will admit the story was very boring at first, but I kept reading on and on because every page pretty much used the page as a comic idea. So reading every page and flipping to a new page gave me something else or new to look forward to. Not to mention the lettering was really easy to follow along with and very well done. Um, for this comic, I would definitely recommend it to my classmates because regardless if something is good or bad, as writers, especially writers that want to write graphic novels and comics, We should all read as much work as possible. It helps us grow. And I felt like reading this kind of comic would definitely help anybody grow if they realize the mistakes and the positives of the comic, because there were quite a few positives, but there were also a few negatives as well. For friends, my friends, I don't think I would recommend this to my friends. The story wasn't the best, and it just took us in the past a lot. I understand why, but it was just disappointing, especially when you get to the end. Um, Lastly, the fun fact, the person who came up with this is actually the same person who came up with the Underworld series and comics. So if you remember those, you know, take a gander at this if you're a fan of those as well.